What if I told you the scariest part of Resident Evil isn't the zombies, isn't the mansion, and isn't even the tyrant? It's the paperwork. Today, we're diving into the files of Resident Evil 1, the journals, reports, and letters scattered across the Spencer mansion. And when you piece them together, they tell the full story of how everything went wrong in horrifying detail. As you may know, there are many plants that have medical effects. Since ancient times, humans have been healing wounds and diseases using various plants. In this book, we're going to sample 3 herbs that grow around the Raccoon Mountains and give their outlines as examples of those plants with medical properties. Each herb has different colors and different effects as medical plants. The green one recovers physical strength, the blue one neutralizes natural toxins, while the red herb does not have any effect by itself. The red herb is only effective when it is mixed with other herbs. For example, if you mix this herb with the herb that recovers physical strength, the recovery effect will be tripled. By adjusting the amount and experimenting with these 3 herbs, you can create various kinds of medicines, but I'll leave the details in your hands, because that's the best way to acquire true knowledge. May 9th, 1998. At night, we played poker with Scott, the guard, Alias, and Steve, the researcher. Steve was really lucky, but I think he was cheating. What a scumbag. May 10th, 1998. Today, a high-ranking researcher asked me to take care of a new monster. It looks like a gorilla without any skin. They told me to feed them live food. When I threw in a pig, they were playing with it, tearing off the pig's legs and pulling out the guts before they actually ate it. May 11th, 1998. Around 5 o'clock this morning, Scott came in and woke me up suddenly. He was wearing a protection suit that looks like a spacesuit. He told me to put one on as well. I heard there was an accident in the basement lab. It's no wonder. Those researchers never rest, even at night. May 12th, 1998. I've been wearing this annoying spacesuit since yesterday. My skin grows musty and feels very itchy. By way of revenge, I didn't feed those dogs today. Now I feel better. May 13th, 1998. I went to the medical room because my back is all swollen and feels itchy. They put a big bandage on my back and the doctor told me I did not need to wear the spacesuit anymore. I guess I can sleep well tonight. May 14th, 1998. When I woke up this morning, I found another blister on my foot. It was annoying and I ended up dragging my foot as I went to the dog's pen. They have been quiet since morning, which is very unusual. I found that some of them had escaped. I'll be in real trouble if the higher-ups find out. May 15th, 1998. Even though I didn't feel well, I decided to go see Nancy. It's my first day off in a long time. But I was stopped by the guard on the way out. They say the company has ordered that no one leave the grounds. I can't even make a phone call. What kind of joke is this? May 16th, 1998. I heard a researcher who tried to escape from this mansion was shot last night. My entire body feels burning and itchy at night. When I was scratching the swelling on my arm, a lump of rotten flesh dropped off. What the hell is happening to me? May 19th, 1998. Fever gone, but itchy. Hungry and eat doggy food. Itchy, itchy Scott came. Ugly face so killed him. Tasty. Itchy. Tasty. My dear Alma, the fact that you have received this letter is both a joy and sadness for me. I could not even talk to you because of that guy in the sunglasses. Alma, be calm and read this. I think I've told you that I moved to pharmaceutical company's lab. They headhunted me. Last month, there was an accident in the lab and the virus we were studying escaped. All my colleagues who were infected by the virus are dead. To be accurate, they've become living dead. They still wander around. Some of them are knocking on my room door desperately right now, but there's no sign of intelligence in their eyes. That cursed virus takes away all humanity from the human brain. Love, joy, sorrow, fear, humor, eternally. And Alma, even the memories of the days I spent with you. Yes, I'm infected. I did everything I could, but I could only delay the progress by a few days. The most frightening thing is that I forget more about you by the day. So I chose a peaceful death, rather than becoming the living dead. Within an hour, I will have entered my eternal sleep. I do hope you'll understand my decision. Goodbye, and forever yours, Martin Crackhorn. Top secret. July 22nd, 1998. 2:13. To the head of the security department, X day is approaching. Complete the following orders within the week. Lure the members of STARS into the lab and have them fight with the BOW in order to obtain data of actual battles. Collect 2 embryos per BOW type, making sure to include all species except for Tyrant. Destroy the Arkley lab, including all researchers and lab animals, in a manner which will seem accidental. White Umbrella. Four days have passed since the accident, and the plant at Point 42 is growing amazingly fast. It has been affected by the T-virus differently than other plants have been, and shows unique shape in addition to its size. Looking at the way it behaves, it is now difficult to determine what kind of plant it was originally. There are 2 ways in which Plant 42 gathers nutrition. The first is through its root that reaches into the basement. Immediately after the accident, a scientist went mad and broke the water tank in the basement. Now the basement is filled with water. It is easily imaginable that some chemical elements were blended in the water and promotes the incredibly fast growth of Plant 42. Another part of Plant 42 from the basement grows through the duct and hangs down like so many bulbs from the ceiling of the first floor. Many vines come out of those bulbs, and they are the second resource for its nutrition. Once sensing movement, Plant 42 shoots its vines around the prey and holds it. Then it starts sucking up blood, using the suckers located at the back of its vine. It also has some intelligence. It blocks the door by twining its vines around it, especially when it captures prey or is sleeping. Several staff members have already fallen victim to this. May 21st, 1998. Henry Sarton. To General Manager of Sanitation Division. From Special Committee on Disasters Raccoon Special Research Department. This memorandum is strictly confidential and must be destroyed as soon as it is understood. Regarding the T-virus outbreak which occurred recently, this committee conducted a field survey. According to the results, estimates on the amount of damage caused by the accident are considerably greater than reported earlier. First, although it is very difficult to obtain accurate data in terms of actual numbers, it is thought that more than half of the researchers died after exposure to the T-virus. The body count will almost likely increase, since nearly all of the survivors show symptoms peculiar to the T-virus. Second, our security system is still in operation. However, our special security guard squad has been nearly destroyed. Because of that, research information considered by our company to be top secret has been made available to outsiders. Countermeasures should be taken as soon as possible. Finally, many of the subjects from the experiments have escaped and are out of control. We believe that some of the researchers were killed by these subjects and their bodies were mutilated. By curious coincidence, these events are proof of the success of our research. However, there is also a very high risk that this news may be leaked to the press if we don't act immediately. The condition is very serious. Our operation to cover up the situation is difficult to attain. However, we hope the problem will be solved quickly. We are especially concerned that the state police and STARS are intervening too quickly. We need to act on this situation as well. Raccoon Times, May 27, 1998. Animal attack? Woman mutilated. May 20. Around 10 p.m., a 20-year-old young woman's body was found by a passerby on the left bank of Marble River in the Cider district of Raccoon City. Raccoon police assume it to be a grizzly or other animal's doing because there are teeth marks along her mutilated arms and left foot that show considerable power. Since she was wearing a hiking boot on her remaining foot, it has been determined that she was attacked in the Arklay Mountains and fell into the river. They are hurrying to identify this woman. Raccoon Weekly, June 16th, 1998. Monsters in Arklay Mountains? Some people claim they've seen monsters in the Arklay Mountains. The monsters are supposedly about the same size as large dogs and usually run in a pack as wolves do. This may sound like a group of ordinary wild dogs, but these monsters are surprisingly fierce and hard to hurt. They say these dogs won't bother you unless you wake them, so you smart readers should stay out of the Arklay Mountains for the time being. But if you're looking for adventure, check it out. You want to try? Raccoon Times, July 9th, 1998. Mystery on Arklay Mountains, mountain road blocked. Due to successive disasters in the Arklay Mountains, the city authorities have decided to block the road leading to the foothills. At the same time, Raccoon police intend to begin the search for lost people with the help of STARS team members. They expect great difficulty because of the vast size of the Arklay Mountains and the primeval forest that covers most of the area. Also, people are still reporting sightings of grotesque monsters in the mountains. David, I have a favor to ask. Can you look for a book I misplaced? Actually, it appears I lost it somewhere around the guardhouse quarters when I had a little too much to drink. It's very important to me. Please find it. Thank you. Basement Level 1, Helicopter Port. Executive and government officials only on helicopter port. This restriction may not apply in case of an accident. Passage to the helicopter. No one is allowed to enter unless they are attended by a research consultant or security director. All others will be shot on sight. Elevator. The elevator stops during all emergencies. Basement Level 2, Visual Data Room. Visual Data Room is within the control of Special Research Division. Keith Arving, the room manager, is designated to have jurisdiction over room usage. Basement Level 3, Prison. Sanitation Division controls the usage of the prison. Consultant researchers E. Smith, S. Ross, A. Wesker must be present if virus is used. Triple locked door. No one is allowed to enter unless he presents all passcode documents. Passcode documents must be created on the specialized output machine by the chief researcher of each block. Power room. Only headquarters supervisors may enter. This restriction may not apply in the consultant researcher has received special instructions. Passcode output machine. No one is allowed to use the passcode output machine, but the chief researchers. Basement Level 4, Top Secret. Regarding the progress of Tyrant after the use of T-virus, remaining document is unreadable. June 8th, 1998. Dear Ada, Ada, by the time you read this, I'll be something different. Today's test turned out to be positive, just as I expected. I feel like going crazy when I think about becoming one of them. Ada, you're not infected and I hope you never will be. In case you are the last one left, take the material in the visual data room and go to the power room to operate the triggering system before you escape. And make all this public through the media. If everything is in order, all the locks can be opened by the security system. You can access the system if you log in with my name from the terminal in the small lab and enter the password. The password is your name. To unlock the door at B2, where the visual data room is located, you'll need to access with our name first and then enter another password. I've written the code below. I'm sure you'll understand it easily. And this is my last hope. If you find me completely changed, please kill me yourself. Password is... As I stated in the last report, there are some common features found in the cells of the plant infected by the Tyrant virus. We also have found another interesting fact through some experiments. We found an element that destroys these plant cells rapidly in UMB number 16, one of the series of UMB chemicals that we used for that experiment. We named this UMB number 16 as V-Jolt. In our calculation, it will take less than 5 seconds to destroy plant 42 if we put the V-Jolt directly on the root. You need to mix some of the UMB series chemicals in a specific order to create a V-Jolt. But the UMB series chemicals may generate a poisonous gas, which is harmful to the human body. Extreme caution should be taken when handling these chemicals. Following are the types of UMB series chemicals and their brief characteristics. UMB number 2, red, NP003. Purple, UMB number 4, green, yellow 6, yellow, UMB number 7, white, UMB number 13, blue stimulating smell, V-Jolt, UMB number 16, brown. Something is written on the back of the picture. My dearest Moira and Polly, I hope you will grow up to be strong and beautiful women and help to cheer up Mother. Your father will be watching you all from heaven, Dad. I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son. Genesis 22:16. I will surely bless you and make your descendant as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies. Genesis 22:17. And through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me. Genesis 22:18. The botany book sounds harmless at first. It talks about medical herbs used since ancient times. Green heals wounds. Blue cures poison. Red does nothing, unless it's mixed with another herb. But the disturbing part is the tone. The book encourages experimentation. By adjusting the amount and experimenting with these 3 herbs, you can create various kinds of medicines. Umbrella wasn't just cataloging plants. They were training staff, and eventually you, to survive in a contaminated environment. It's subtle foreshadowing. They already knew things could go wrong. Next is the infamous Keeper's Diary, one of the most disturbing files in gaming history. It starts off normal. Poker games, petty arguments, daily routines. Then he's ordered to take care of a new monster. It looks like a gorilla without any skin. That's a BOW, a biological weapon. He watches it rip apart a pig before eating it. Soon after, there's an accident in the lab. He's forced to wear a hazmat suit. His skin starts itching. Blisters form. His flesh begins to rot. And then the final entry, hungry. Eat doggy food? Itchy, itchy Scott King. Ugly face, so killed him. Tasty. This file shows the exact moment a human becomes a zombie. Not with a jump scare, not with an explosion, but with slow, degrading thoughts. The researcher's will is a suicide note from Martin Crackhorn to his lover, Alma. He explains that the virus escaped. Everyone is either dead or wandering the halls as living corpses. Then he says something truly tragic. The most frightening thing is that I forget more about you by the day. The virus doesn't just rot the body. It erases memory, emotion, and identity. So, he chooses death instead of becoming a monster. This is Resident Evil's quiet horror. Not gore, but forgetting who you are. Now we reach the orders file. Umbrella commands security to lure stars into the lab, force them to fight BOWs, collect embryos, destroy the facility, kill researchers, and make it look accidental. This reveals something shocking. The mansion incident was intentional. Stars wasn't sent to rescue anyone. They were sent as test subjects. Umbrella didn't lose control. They pulled the trigger. Plant 42 is a mutated organism infected by the T virus. It feeds on chemicals in flooded water. It senses movement. It strangles prey. It drinks blood. It even blocks doors when it sleeps. This isn't just a plant. It's a predator. Umbrella didn't create monsters. They created ecosystems of death. The facts reveals the outbreak is far worse than reported. Half the researchers are dead. The rest show symptoms. Security has collapsed. Test subjects are roaming free. And then the most chilling line. By curious coincidence, these events are proof of the success of our research. People died, and Umbrella calls it a success. They're more worried about the press than the victims. The scrapbook shows newspaper clippings, animal attack, wild dogs, roads blocked. But we know the truth. Those weren't animals. Those were infected creatures. Raccoon City was already being eaten alive, and nobody outside knew yet. Now, let's talk about Eric's letter. This file only appears in rebirth mode in the Nintendo DS version of Resident Evil, making it one of the rarest story documents in the game. Eric writes, "I lost a book somewhere around the guardhouse quarters when I had too much to drink. On the surface, it's mundane, but it adds realism. Even during a viral catastrophe, people were still drinking, still making mistakes, still living normal lives, right up until everything ended. It's a tiny file, but it humanizes the outbreak." The security system file reveals the mansion's true nature: prison cells, shoot-on-sight rules, execution protocols, restricted access. This wasn't a research center. It was a containment facility for biological weapons. And one familiar name appears: A. Wesker. Albert Wesker was involved long before the game even begins. A dying scientist writes to Ada, begging her to access the visual data room, activate the triggering system, expose Umbrella to the media, kill him if he's fully transformed. Even Umbrella's scientists wanted the truth out, but it was already too late. The V-Jolt file explains how to kill Plant 42 using Umbrella chemicals. But it warns the gas is toxic to humans. Umbrella's solution to infection is just more poison. Barry's photo reads, "Your father will be watching you all from heaven." It's the only normal thing in the mansion. And that's what makes it sad. These weren't villains. They were people with families. The passcodes quote the Bible verses about sacrifice and obedience. Umbrella didn't just play God. They believed they were God. When you piece the files together, the real plot emerges. Umbrella created the virus, lost control, covered it up, used stars as test data, destroyed their own facility. The mansion isn't haunted. It's a crime scene. And that's the terrifying truth hidden in the files of Resident Evil 1. If you enjoyed uncovering this secret history, drop a comment with your favorite file, hit like, subscribe for more deep dives into horror lore, and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next.